New video. We've seen some nice price action, so let's get into the data. What we currently have, we still have the range we have been trading in for quite a while currently, and then this week we started the week with an early pump on Sunday, and then early Monday we had a sell off in which we completed a local distribution right here. And after that distribution, price went lower. Here we had a lot of sell-side liquidity resting, but price did not take all the sell-side liquidity, but bounced exactly at the naked point of control that was resting here. And since then, price has shoot up pretty strongly, in which we have made a new weekly high. This was our last weekly high. Right now, that's taken out right here, and our current weekly low is right here. So this is weekly low, this is weekly high, in which the statistics have turned pretty bullish. So pretty interesting to see what's going to happen. If we quickly zoom out, we should not forget that we are at extreme premium levels of the range, also near the value area high. So always keep that in mind to not get overly bullish. Stats are bullish, things are looking bullish, but yeah, always wait for your setup and don't FOMO into anything. Then if we look at the lower time frames, here we have some demand created, but I don't think we go that deep. If we look at the lower time frames, then price pushed above the last high. So this is generally a place I like to see price hold. We can dip a bit lower, maybe do something like this, but overall I'm looking for long triggers to open fresh longs for new highs. Why am I looking at that? Because I expect new highs to follow later this week based on statistics. If we first quickly go on the lower time frames, then we can see that during the night price consolidated, slowly came back into this level right here, held previous weekly high and Monday's high, and is now pushing higher again. I expect this high to be taken out later. We have some local demand right here, which is a local PY zone for me. If we look at the lower time frames, then our current statistics show that we have the low at hour 2 and the high at hour 6. Then this is a very bad high. Hour 6 is very bad. Hour 2 is pretty good. So if we are truly bullish, then I expect, let me erase that, then I expect price to hold this low, this right here, and therefore if price during or into the New York session comes into this demand, break structure back to bullish, then this is a long trigger for me targeting at least a new high, but higher prices are very likely. So that will be the most bullish outcome, that we hold the daily low. But we can also dip a bit lower, but we know that if Bitcoin is truly bullish, then it often doesn't give the obvious retraces. I see that we also have some demand here. In case we pull back deeper, that's another level to look at. Let's see, so with this, then if we look at the statistics right here, then this is the weekly. So as I just said, our weekly low is this, and our current weekly high is this. So P1, P2. Low P1 flip risk, 8.7% of the weeks took out the weekly low. So based on time, that's a very good low. Distance is like 38%, so that's not a real edge in my opinion. But what's interesting is that here, unlikely that P2 is in 80% of the weeks from a new P2 after Wednesday. So our current high is on Wednesday. So in 80% of the weeks, we will form a new high after Wednesday. Then if we look at the distance statistics, unlikely that P2 is in 96% of the weeks moved further than 4.5%. So if we assume that this low will hold, then in 96% of the weeks we will see bigger displacement as we currently did. Our current weekly displacement is this. In 96% of the weeks we will see higher prices. For that we can also look at the pivot zones on the weekly. Let's see, weekly pivot zones right here. Let me show you. Then this is our the like the lighter gray is the P1 zone. So this is where 80% of the P1s get formed, which is this zone right here. And then, as we know, early in the week, price loves to put in the weekly P1. So often that's on either Monday or Tuesday. This week it seems like it's on Wednesday. So this seems like the weekly low, which means that in 80% of the bullish weeks, which it seems like we will get, price will make in 80% of the weeks a move into the P2 zone, which is around $130,000, which would mean that we can see new all-time highs this week. So that's interesting. Another big level are these equal highs right here around 1010.7k. So yeah, statistics are pointing towards higher prices, technicals as well. So we can look for long triggers. And as I just said, on the low time frame, these are the levels I'm looking at. If we are bullish, we should hold Monday's high. If we dip a bit lower, can as well. But on the lowest time frame, I'm looking at a potential fresh long right here, clean range, where we had a you can see this like a very local accumulation. Did not hit the highs. We still have some liquidity resting here. So what I would like to see is that we slowly come back and then during the New York session tap into demand, break structure, long it, and then you can let it run basically to new all-time highs. So that will be the most bullish outcome. Not sure we get it, but if we get it, I will take advantage of it. So plan for Bitcoin is clear in my opinion. If we look at USDT dominance, which has been a very good Confluence, then we had that range, we had that huge manipulation above, kind of PO3, not the best looking one, but still one. Then during the week, we formed a local accumulation right here with D1, D2, D3, hit the technical target right there, and price ran right into this local supply zone right there, where price rejected from and then had a very strong sell-off. Let me erase that for a moment. I'm not looking at an accumulation here. I think this range is lost. So the next levels I'm looking at are this demand zone right here, where we have an imbalance above. So that's which is also in confluence with this liquidity level, and also a confluence with the VIP level. As you can see, the 0.75 is directly aligning with that liquidity level and that demand below. So that could be an area where if we see a local accumulation, it's an area to be careful with your longs on crypto. However, until we show a clean accumulation here, I expect the range lows to be next, because we deviated the range high, so technical target of that is the range low. For now, this is showing a lot of weakness, and if we look at this, then basically you can say that this whole zone is supply, so any moves into that area can be confluences to look for shorts until we at least hit that level. So that's what I'm looking at. Then quickly ETH. ETH at this range completed the model 2 distribution, hit the technical target right here, took liquidity below the range, and from there strongly pushed higher. Here we have a supply zone with a negative point of control. So what I'm looking at is that I'm interested in longs. However, I can't long right here. So what I would like to see is to look for longs anywhere in this region, depends on what the price action does, and then get into longs. But I can't ignore the fact that we have a local range here. It is ETH. That we are forming a local range here. We have a big level above us. So if we take out this level, then I want to hedge myself with a potential short in case ETH is going to do ETH things and we turn this into a PO3. I'm not expecting it, but yeah, if we start showing a distribution, let me show that a bit clearer. Right here into supply, then I might hedge myself with a short and then see if we can like let's say price does this during New York, we get a push into that high, then I will hedge myself in a short and then see what happens here. And then if we break structure right here, then I will get into longs, might close the short or keep it open as a hedge, and then I'm expecting higher prices. So that's the plan for ETH. Pretty clear, I think. Bitcoin plans are clear. Statistics are bullish. Let me quickly show you the overview. Then probably you see green numbers. Yeah, so for most assets, green numbers. So main bias should be to focus on longs. Then one quick note. Here we have the order flow. Here we can see that this push is heavily pushed by perp. So that's often a warning sign. However, open interest is also strong. And a lot of people think that if open interest is strong, then yeah, everyone is chasing longs. And that can be the case, but it can also just be a big player that is pushing price higher. So the only warning is that if price goes higher, open interest increases strongly, and you don't see follow through, or you don't see the positions holding strong, then it can be a warning sign. But as we can see, for now, open interest is holding really strong, which shows that the buyers in here are pretty confident still. So unless price is losing important levels and the open interest starts to decrease heavily, then it's a warning sign. But for now, it's looking pretty good. But yeah, keep in mind that we can see a quick dip to get some longs out of their current positions, which make room for a healthy move later on. So that's why you want to play your clean setups and don't want to force anything. Then last but not least, I'm looking at a potential short on gold as well. Here at the 4-hour market structure, we came below it, deviated and now pushed up. So this could be a liquidity grab for higher, but if we look at the structure, then this is an area where we either reject and go lower, or retest this level, or we push through and then we just make new highs. So that's what I call an inflection point, and that's where the risk to reward is the best. So what I'm looking at is that price is forming a local range here with a 2-tap model. This could be the model 2, but I like the model 1 more, because here we tapped into this bigger supply zone. But if we look at here, we have more refined supply resting a little higher. And if we look at the structure, then this last push was pretty aggressive. So here, if you want to break structure, you have to break this low, break structure level, but then your RR is not that good. So what I would like to see is that we maybe grab a little liquidity, come up slowly, take out that high, then break structure right here, and then I will short it back to the lows. That's the main plan. If we already break structure here strongly, then let's see, then you could say that this is your, we tapped into this supply, that this is your 2, but then I need to see a break of structure right here, and then you can watch if you maybe get a redistribution to short that one. But main plan and best opportunity will be to make one more high, create a model 1, and then short it. So I think plans are pretty clear for Bitcoin, for stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching, happy trading, and speak to you guys soon. Cheers.